Hi Amar. Let's go, baby. We made it. Yes, Kashish, we are finally live. We are finally live. What's up, Rohit? The glares are back, baby. Abhishek, the glares are back. Am I audible? Man, did I correct my headset? Am I audible? Sometimes I forget, man, if I've connected my headset or not. Hi Ashu, it's good to see you. People are joining. Audible, okay, awesome. Thanks, Kashish. Yo, Uzi, what's up? Thank you, Amreen, ma'am. Amreen, ma'am is watching. Crystal clear. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. Melvin, what's up, man? Melvin, why aren't you coming for football? Why aren't you coming for football, buddy? Who is this guy? SG Atomic Boy says hello. What's up, SG Atomic Boy? Hey, big fan. Awesome, man. Keep it up. Okay. Alright, man. Awesome. So, people are still joining, but we are going to begin. Debate with Kaizad. Man, how many times do you want me to challenge him to a debate? He doesn't want anything to do with me. And it doesn't make sense for him. I'll smoke him, man. Kaizad is easy work. I'll smoke him. Francesco notices the ring light, baby. Yeah. Ring light is here. Thanks to my special gangster. Alright. Speaking of thanks, okay? We need to begin by first sharing some appreciation. We need to first give thanks to the people who deserve thanks. What do I mean by that? I have to begin by first thanking my mom and dad. I have a lot to thank them. But let's begin with the fact that they gave birth to me. They gave birth to me, and I was a terrible kid, man. If you think I'm notorious now, if you think I'm a troublemaker now, speak to my mom and dad. I was a terrible kid. And I've given a lot of trouble to my parents and to my teachers. Okay. Some of you who know me from my bishop school days, from my army public school days, know what a troublemaker I was. Okay, so yeah, my mom and dad had to deal with a lot of that because my teachers would complain, my principal would complain, and yeah, but I was still a good kid. I was still a good kid, man. In spite of all the trouble, we made it, baby. We made it. But I have a lot to be thankful for. They've provided me everything a child would need to not just survive, but to thrive. I am what I am because of my parents. They gave me everything. So thank you, Mom and Dad. And thank you to my teachers. I have way too many teachers to be thankful to be grateful for. And I won't be able to name all of them. So I won't attempt to name any of them. There are way too many who I have troubled, I have annoyed, I have grilled with questions and cross questions, and they've been patient and they've been understanding, and they've taught me in spite of having every reason not to teach me. So thank you to my teachers, and thank you to the rest of my family as well. My sister has been an inspiration. I shared a photograph some time ago, but even though she's younger than me, she's always inspired me because she's always scored better than me. And when I say scored better than me, she's a genius. So yeah, I seek a lot of inspiration from her. All my academic endeavors have largely been inspired by observing how diligently she studies and how seriously she takes her academics. So thank you to my sister. Thank you to my brother Champ and the rest of my brothers and sisters. You've been awesome. Thank you to my friends. I have a few friends, a few close, tight friends. You know who you are. So thank you to my friends. Thank you to my students. Thank you to my clients. Thank you to the companies who work with me. Thank you to the universities which hire me and tolerate me. I know you need me, and I know I can behave myself. I choose not to. But you tolerate me, you deal with me. I mess around all the time. I'm always unfair when it comes to negotiating my contract. But you've been incredibly accommodating, so thank you. And last but not the least, and perhaps most importantly, I want to thank Amreen Chadda, Amreen ma'am, for helping me with the Aman Dugal University. Man, I was going to make a lot of mistakes with the execution of the Aman Dugal University. I had something along the lines of a 2 to 4 year program planned. I had this huge bias against certifications. And I wanted to teach a lot of things which I am interested in. Okay? I like to know and learn about everything. But it's important that I teach the students what they need to know. I can't just teach what I like learning about, right? There's a lot of stuff which I learned which have little practical relevance as far as practicing as a nutrition and exercise professional is concerned. So Amreen ma'am, thank you for helping me out, and thank you for everything that you do. Amreen ma'am OP. Amreen ma'am OP. Now, with that said and done, it's time to introduce you to the Aman Dugal University. So if you have questions, drop them in the comments and I'll try and get to them. Okay? So, how did the Aman Dugal University begin? It began 10 years ago. That's right. It began 10 years ago when I first decided to study nutrition and exercise. I was in engineering school, and I didn't enjoy engineering as much as I should have. I still studied it. I was still relatively decent at it. I still passed out with flying colors, but I didn't enjoy it. And in my first year, which was around 2010, 2011, I was introduced to biochemistry. And that set things in motion for me. Because if any of you are familiar with nutrition, you know that the very foundation of nutrition, at the very heart of nutrition, lies biochemistry. So, I started out with my educational journey in this domain, striving to become a nutritionist. Exercise came along in the future, but what I really wanted to learn, what I was incredibly passionate about, was chemistry and how that applies to the human body. And what happens to the human body when we consume something. So I expressed to my parents very early in my engineering days that I will complete my engineering degree, because my parents wanted that for me. They wanted me to become an engineer, so I was like, no problem, I'll become an engineer. No problem, mom and dad, I'll become an engineer. But after I complete engineering, I will do what I want to do. And that was study nutrition. And then study exercise. Unfortunately, studying nutrition and exercise wasn't without struggle. Why do I say that? Because I've always been a curious student. I have always been a curious student, and it is not enough for me to be told what works and what does not. As a teacher, you cannot tell me that this works and that does not. I want to know why something works. I want to know how something works. And I would always have questions. I would like peeling back layers. So if you offered me an explanation for one of my questions, that explanation would then generate 10 more questions, and so on and so forth. And what would almost end up happening, almost always end up happening, was that my teachers would struggle to answer all my questions. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm still grateful to them. But my questions, my desire, my insatiable desire to truly understand and appreciate nutrition and exercise for what it actually is was never fulfilled. If you notice my bio, I never shared my educational qualifications. I never share them because I'm not proud of them. I have been exposed to every certification under the sun. Heck, Luke Johnson, Eric Helms, Dr. Mike Zordos, and Team SBS offered me a full scholarship, an all expenses paid scholarship to study with them and learn from them. I'm grateful for the opportunity. But my desire to truly learn and understand was not fulfilled. And no one was able to do that. No one was able to do that till I met my good friend Vivek Gangas. Today, Vivek is one of the finest physics teachers in the country. He teaches physics to students who aspire to become IITians, who aspire to become the best engineers, not just in the country but in the world. He's one of the finest physics teachers I know, and I'm incredibly grateful to him for helping me understand why I need to revisit foundational scientific concepts. Vivek gave me H.C. Verma and he said, Aman, if you want to understand exercise, this is the book you need. Like Vivek, I met Dr. Amol Raut in 2015. And Dr. Amol was like, Aman, if you want to understand chemistry, or rather if you want to understand nutrition, you need to first appreciate chemistry. When I went to my mom and dad and I said I want to learn about the human body, they said, Aman, you need to learn medicine. And they gave me their fat anatomy and physiology textbooks. Here you go, study. I'm like, I have to study all of this to truly understand nutrition, exercise, and physiology? Really? You want me to study all of this? These big fat textbooks? Cool, no problem. No problem. I like embracing challenges, and for all that my mom and dad have gifted me, what I'm most grateful to them for is that they gifted me this. So a lot of things which may appear challenging for most students do not appear as challenging to me as a consequence of good genes. It is a reality. So, my approach to education was not simple. It was riddled with struggle. I had to go about things the unconventional way. No biomechanics textbook teaches exercise or teaches how force applies to exercise the way it should teach it. No nutrition textbook truly helps you understand the chemistry of nutrition. So I did try to wiggle my way around it. I was like, let me just open a biomechanics text. Let me just open a kinesiology text. Let me open a nutrition text. But I almost always realized that in order for me to truly appreciate nutrition and exercise, I have to get my fundamentals right. So I studied them. I studied them all. And in the process, I developed a perspective which changed everything for me. It changed everything. And of course, I had help along the way. There were a lot of times when I was not able to understand a certain concept. So I reached out to my teachers and they helped me understand. So again, I'm incredibly grateful to my teachers. So coming back to my journey in educating myself, truly educating myself about nutrition and exercise. After I was able to appreciate the foundational principles upon which nutrition and exercise is built, it completely changed my perspective. Not just about the subjects I was trying to acquire expertise in, but it completely changed my perspective about the industry as a whole. All of a sudden, the people I looked up to, the people I thought who actually knew a thing or two about nutrition and exercise, didn't seem like people who actually understood nutrition and exercise. Our evidence-based heroes who claim to understand nutrition and exercise. All of a sudden I realized they don't understand nutrition and exercise. And that took some grappling with, because you find yourself in this position, you find yourself in this situation wherein it almost appears that either you're incredibly smart or you're incredibly stupid. Think about this as someone young in this industry who is able to see and appreciate subjects for what they truly are. And you look around and everyone seems to miss the obvious. How do you think I felt? I felt that either I was incredibly smart or I was incredibly foolish. How could everyone else miss something as obvious as this? And some of you know what I'm talking about. If you are familiar with my work, you know what it is I'm speaking about. I would invite you to watch my lecture at the Indian School of Business if you want to get a taste of what I understand. And trust me, it's only a taste. It's only an appetizer. Because I will never share what I truly understand on Instagram, on social media. Because Instagram does not deserve it, Facebook does not deserve it, YouTube does not deserve it. I have put in way too many hours, way too much effort to just give it all away and receive nothing in the way of appreciation for it. So coming back to the people I once looked up to, all of a sudden I realized that our evidence-based heroes, our evidence-based professionals are nothing but charlatans in an evidence-based disguise. That's all they truly are. The people you look up to for nutrition and exercise information, the people with PhDs, with a bachelor's or master's degree, who put out information on social media, they are all charlatans in an evidence-based disguise. And I know all of them. I know all of them. I know this industry inside out. Just because someone appears well put together, just because someone can stitch a few sentences together, just because someone possesses a little in the way of linguistic ability, just because someone can reference a paper or two, does not mean they truly understand what they're speaking about. We live in the digital age. We live in the world or in the age of social media, where it's easier than ever to create the illusion of expertise. And that is what every single professional, every single organization, every single institution, and when I say every single, I mean every single with no exceptions whatsoever. I will from time to time recognize a few individuals and offer my respect to those few individuals. But make no mistake about it, I see this industry for what it truly is, filled with incompetent, underconfident, and broke professionals. And I have no problem with underconfidence and being broke. But I have a problem with incompetence, because incompetence equals malpractice. A lot of you listening to me may think, so what, Aman? Knowledge is a never-ending pursuit, right? We all get some things right, and we all get some things wrong. If this was medicine, if this was engineering, and we all had invested 5 to 10 years worth of education, establishing some basic concepts, and then we built our discussion on top of that, then I'd say, yeah, maybe you can disagree upon certain things, because we've established our fundamentals. We've established a foundation which most of us agree upon. The fitness industry has not done that. Fitness education has not done that. And I'm not just talking about the certification level, I'm talking about the university level. Because I've taught at university. I've taught at a Bachelor's of Exercise Science program, and oh my goodness gracious me, that 4-year program is perhaps worse than some of the 3-month or year-long nonsensical evidence-based certifications which we have. So university education is not a great option for most of you, because A, it's super expensive, B, it's unnecessarily long, and C, it still does not guard you against misinformation. The only reason why university education is worth exploring is because you can get a nice stamp, a nice bachelor's degree or a master's degree, or what our evidence-based heroes like to do, they like to get a PhD. Fuck your PhD. Fuck your PhD. Bring me a PhD. Bring me a PhD who practices in the fitness industry. I'll show you how much that PhD truly knows. So, coming back to what I was saying, if you have not established, if the industry has not established a foundational understanding of nutrition and exercise, then this lack of understanding is malpractice. And it is not just you as a professional who will suffer the consequences of this malpractice, of this lack of understanding. Your clients, the people who pay you money, will suffer the consequences too. I can give you a very simple example. Let's say you want to challenge the lateral head of the deltoid. You have many options, right? Which one will you pick? Because there is perhaps one option which is almost always universally the best option for most people. If you want to challenge the knee extensors, which recipe will you pick? Which recipe of exercise will you pick? Any exercise? The exercise which your clients enjoy? Yeah, that exercise. Even though it has the potential to create a lot of stress for your joints and connective tissue and lead to potential degradation of long-term joint and connective tissue health. Really? You think you can prescribe your clients exercises which they enjoy? You think that's how simple exercise is? What about nutrition? Flexible dieting? Do you realize the consequences of flexible dieting? What about your approach to coaching? Oh, it's all about sustainability, right? It's all about adherence. Do you even know what motivates human behavior? Do you know how the human mind works? Sustainability, adherence. Wow. I'm sure you didn't come up with that. Someone said it and it made sense to you. So you passed it along. That's a soundbite. And we live in soundbite culture. And what about business? Making money? What about marketing? Do you think you need to become an influencer? Do you think you need to become an influencer or have a YouTube channel or get 1 million subscribers to make it as a professional or make money? There is not a single, and by that I mean single, one-man driven enterprise in this entire industry which makes more money than I do. Don't believe me? Ask the people around you. Ask the people who work with me. Ask the companies who work with me. Ask them how much they pay me for a few hours of my time. Ask, find out. You can do some digging, right? You can find some dirt on me. And if you think it's not all about money, you are incredibly naive. It is and always will be all about money. So, we live, or rather, we happen to be in a time, in an unfortunate time, where the fitness industry is riddled with malpractice. It is riddled with malpractice. And that is where I come in. The Yamandugal University is not the platform you want. It is the platform you need. And all of you need it. If you're an 18 to 20 odd year old student who's just venturing into the fitness industry, you need it. But even if you're a well-established veteran, heck, even if you're Tom Purvis who teaches exercise mechanics at RTS, Tom, even you need the Aman Duggal University. Because Tom does not understand exercise as well as some of you think he understands exercise. Alan Aragon does not understand nutrition as well as some of you think he understands nutrition. Brad Schoenfeld does not understand hypertrophy as well as you think he understands hypertrophy. Andrew Vygotsky does not understand biomechanics as well as some of you think he understands biomechanics. And Menno Henselmans and James Krieger do not understand statistics as well as you think they do. My name is Aman Duggal and I am the best fitness professional in the world. My name is Aman Duggal and I am the absolute best fitness professional, not in my city, not in my state, not in the country of India, not in the continent of Asia, in the world. And that's a fact. You know why that's a fact? You know why that's a fact? Some of you watching will be like, this guy's just acting. This guy's just playing a character. There's no such thing as being the best, right? There's nothing like that. Really? How can he say that he's the best? How can he? He's just 29. How can he say that he is the best? I don't just say it. I can demonstrate it. And it's very easy to demonstrate that I'm the best. All I have to do is show you that I am better. In order for me to demonstrate that I am the best, all I have to do is show you that I am better. All I have to do is show you that I understand exercise better than Tom Purvis. I understand nutrition better than Alan Aragon. I understand physiology better than Brad Schoenfeld. Why do you think I go about challenging people to debates? Have you ever seen me back down from a debate challenge? Why do you think I challenge anyone and everyone? And why do you think I'm always ready for a debate? It's because a debate setting is an opportunity for me to demonstrate that I'm the best. And heck, if there is something which someone understands about nutrition and exercise which I do not understand, guess what I will do? I will reach out to that person, learn that particular something from that person, learn more, and become better at that particular concept than that person. The teachers I learn from, I don't just learn from them, I become better than them. Because I care about being the best. You know why a lot of you will never accept the fact that I or anyone else has the potential to become the best in the world? Is because we live in baby man culture. We live in baby man culture where children are taught not to be competitive, where children are provided participation certificates, a certificate of attendance for their participation. Oh, and all that really matters is participating, right? Everyone's a winner. Oh, you participated, you're a winner. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. In every discipline, there are people who know more and there are people who know less. There are people who do better and there are people who don't do as well. Jeff Bezos, at least officially, is the richest man in the world. That's a fact. Numbers don't lie. He can demonstrate that. And just because we don't have an Oscars or a Ballon d'Or for the greatest fitness professional in existence, or even if we do, most of those awards are rigged, does not mean that one man knows more than the entire industry combined. Why do you think I can say whatever I want to say? Why do you think I can do whatever I want to do? You think most people would get away with saying the things I say? You think most people can get away doing the things I do? There are people who genuinely dislike me. There are companies which despise my personality. There are institutions who absolutely hate my presence. But they still pay me because they need me. And if you think I just work with influencers and YouTubers, you have no idea. You have no idea the people and the companies I work with. And maybe perhaps I'll share them if I feel like showing off. Maybe I'll share a few contracts, demonstrate the money I've negotiated for myself. And it's only because of one thing and one thing alone: competence. Competence. You people want to know where my confidence comes from. It comes from competence. But most of you, or rather some of you, will not believe me. Some of you will keep doubting me. Some of you will think, he's just a kid who thinks too great of himself. It's his ego which is making him brag about himself. Really, you think I have an ego? You think an egoistic person like me would speak about my depression and anxiety as openly as I do? You think an egoistic person like me would reach out to Vivek Angas and Dr. Amol Raut and ask them to help me with my education? You think so? So, if you think that I am not the best, it's very simple. It's very simple to challenge me. Just bring your team, bring your professors, bring the people you think actually understand nutrition and exercise. Bring your institutions, bring your organizations. I will always stand alone. I will never ever ask someone else to join me and be part of my team. I can debate entire institutions, all your faculties combined, all your faculty members combined, and I can smoke you all. NSCA, ACSM, NASM, MAC Nutrition, Precision Nutrition, N1 Education, RTS, Stronger by Science, Examine.com, not on my level. Never have been, never will be. Do you know why? Because I have an insatiable desire to keep learning, to continue my educational journey. All of you know what it's like to learn from a teacher. All of you know what it's like to learn from an expert. Find out what it's like to learn from a student. With that said and done, I will issue an open challenge to any fitness professional, any institution, any organization. If you have a problem with any of the claims I've made, or if you doubt my superiority, if you have a problem with me claiming that I'm better than you, challenge me, debate me, and I will smoke you. That is my personal guarantee. Which is why you'll always see students accept my debate challenge. Students have no problem accepting my debate challenges. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Nabil Khwaja, Rachit Bir, Saurav Meel. Heck, even Tom and Mark Slavin showed up. Even though there was an unnecessary back and forth which kind of happened. It became a comedy more than a debate, but it was still a debate. And Tom still contradicted himself, and he was not able to support. He was not able to support his organization. I put forth 7 points. He promised that he'd reach back to me. He'd get back to me after he trains his 100-year-old client and debate me formally on Zoom. Dr. Mark Slavin and Tom Purvis promised me that. There's a reason Tom Purvis does not want to debate me. And I actually have a little respect for Tom Purvis. I'll tell you who I do not respect. I do not respect Qasim Hansen from N1 Education. I do not respect JPS Education. Qasim, like I've shared in my stories, is a copycat. Qasim's work at N1 Education is not his work, that's Tom's work. And what JPS puts out there, it's not their work either. They've copied from Qasim, and that's the problem with this industry. People just borrowing from each other and trying to make it seem like what they're sharing is a product of their own original thinking. So, and that's a reality. I'm not going to crib about it. It's happened to me. Go and watch what happened with my presentation. Eric Hans copied my entire presentation and gave me a small shout out for a few tables. Don't believe me? Go watch the video. It's on YouTube. It's also on my IGTV. Ask any professional worth his or her salt what they thought about those slides. Ask. So, with that said and done, it's time for me to share with you what I will be teaching at the Aman Dugal University. And yes, ये हम IGTV पे upload करेंगे. Okay, I will save this session, and you can share this session with any of your professors because the challenge is open. If you think you understand nutrition and exercise, show up. Show up. And I also want to offer some respect, okay? I missed out. People who joined me live, okay, who've either challenged me to debates or accepted my debate challenges. Rachit Bir, Saurav Meel, Aman Bindra, Kanav Sharma, Dr. Nabil Khwaja. If I've forgotten your name, please excuse me. But and Tom Purvis and Mark Slavin also. If you engaged in a back and forth with me live, I truly have respect for you, and I respect you more than I respect this entire evidence-based industry combined. Oh, on that note, I actually had a debate with Amreen Chadda in the morning. If Amreen is watching, she can attest to the fact that we had a debate on functional training, on sports specific training. So a big shout out goes to her again. Okay, she's helped shape a lot of my thinking, and I've learned a lot as a consequence of studying with her. So coming back to the Ahmednagar University, what are we going to learn? Okay, so what is the Ahmednagar University? It's a 12-week program. Yes, believe it or not, it's a 12-week program. Not a year-long program, not 6 months, not 2 years long, not 4 years. It's a 12-week program. And the reason it's a 12-week program, because that's the demand. Okay? If that is the demand, I have to cater to that demand. Having said that though, even though it's a 12-week program, I'm going to try and stuff a lot of information inside those 12 weeks. It's going to be a fast-paced program. And most of you may struggle to keep up, because I'm not just going to deliver a lecture every single day. I'm not just going to deliver a lecture every single week. I will in all likelihood be lecturing almost on a daily basis. That's the only way I will be able to teach what I truly want to teach. And I won't be able to teach everything. That's a reality of a 12-week program. I won't be able to teach you everything I know within 12 weeks, but I promise you this. If you sign up to the Ahmednagar University, I will give you lifetime access to all future updates. Not just future updates, I'll create a separate section. We'll call it the vault, and I'll keep adding to it. And you'll have access to that. For my first batch, I'll give you lifetime access at no expense. If you subscribe to the Ahmednagar University, you will have lifetime access to all my future material. That's a promise. But right now that promise only holds true for my first batch. I'll see if I want to carry forth this offering to future batches. Okay, so it's a 12-week long program. Who will do the teaching? I will do the teaching. You know why I will do the teaching? Because there is no one else who can do the teaching. See, teaching is a skill. Teaching is an art, and it begins with understanding. So the subjects which I will be teaching you, unfortunately, or rather fortunately, only I possess an understanding. I am somewhat satisfied with. And why I say somewhat satisfied? Because I know my understanding of these subjects will improve. See, if there was a teacher I felt who could teach better than me, I'd get that teacher on board. So if ever you see someone delivering a lecture at the Ahmednagar University, that truly means that that teacher understands that particular subject better than me. So we'll see, okay? We shall see. But as of now, I will do all the teaching. And if there's someone I feel has something to offer which I cannot, I'll bring them on board and I will learn from them, and then I will dominate them. Anyway, so I will be doing all the teaching. And I believe there will be about 10 to 12 modules, okay? 12 weeks, about 12 modules. So let's try and remember my modules. On the 26th of October, we will begin the student orientation. On the 3rd of October, admissions open. Okay, so you have a small window from 3rd of October to the 26th of October, and you can obviously subscribe after that also. But I would suggest that if you are interested in enrolling, you enroll before the 26th of October so that you are present in attendance for the student orientation. Because the student orientation is incredibly important. You can think of it as module 00. Okay, I won't call it module 1, you can call it module 0. What about your lecture videos? Will they be? Yes, they will be available. They will be recorded. So you can, the live sessions, the live lectures will be saved so that you can watch them over and over again. Okay. What's the fee? Man, it almost breaks my heart to say this, but you guys are incredibly fortunate, man. You guys are incredibly lucky. It's 25,000 rupees. 25,000 for everything. My 12-week program, which includes an entire week worth of question and answer sessions, an exam, a gangster exam by the way, and lifetime access to all future updates. So yeah, 25,000 rupees for everything. And as cruel as I may appear to be, I've kept 25,000 rupees only because a lot of you reached out to me and you said that you want to learn from me, and you're considering taking a loan to pay for my lifetime subscription, which I had originally planned at 90,000 rupees. So I'm like, cool man, 25k for now, but I'm going to scale this up. I'm keeping it competitive. I'm not just keeping it 25k for you. I'm keeping it 25k for me so that I can establish a market and then dominate the market. And you will get access to all the material as well. So obviously there's going to be a lot in the way of I just got a message saying I love you, so control yourself, buddy. Hey, drop it in the comments. Jesse, drop it in the comments, buddy. No personal messages. But anyway, so yeah, it's I've kept it reasonable for you and for me. I want to establish my name in the market. And Kashish Gupta says, crores worth of knowledge in 25k. That is true. That is not just metaphorically true, that is actually true. I will teach you how to make the crores. That's my personal guarantee. I will teach you not just how to make lakhs, but crores. Because lakhs are not good enough. In today's time, it's not good enough to have a yearly package which pays in lakhs. We live in a time, we live in an age where it's easier than ever to make a name for yourself and make some serious money. And if you're a student of the Amandugal University, you deserve to make money. So I'm not just going to teach you nutrition and exercise. I'm going to teach you how you can apply that nutrition and exercise and make a name for yourself, not just as an influencer, but as an authority. And it won't come easy. I'm not just going to give you the certificate. I will not just give you the certificate, man. I will make sure that before you get that certificate, you meet every criteria, I'll make you work for it. I'll make you appreciate what's important. Because only if you work for my certificate will you then put in that work into the real world and make not thousands, not lakhs, but crores. That is my personal guarantee. So, coming back to the syllabus. Okay, you guys have questions with regards to the syllabus. Let me touch on that. Okay, we're going to start with some student orientation. Okay, I'm going to teach you first what it takes to be a student. Okay, being a student is not easy. You will experience several challenges. You will meet concepts which are difficult to develop an instinctive and intuitive sense of. It takes time for some of these concepts to settle in. It takes time and effort to learn to read. Yes, I said learn to read. You have to learn to read because if you have this textbook, and we've got another one here, because if you want to read these textbooks, you need to learn how to read them. You cannot read textbooks. You cannot read textbooks like that cover to cover. If you read those textbooks cover to cover, you will waste time. So I have to teach you how to read textbooks, because I will be referencing a lot of textbooks. I will share those textbooks with you. But you need to learn how to read them. You need to learn what it takes to be a student. And you need to learn what are the career opportunities in this industry. If the only thing you have in mind, is that I want to become an online coach or an influencer or a personal trainer, you're shooting yourself in the foot. There are so many career opportunities within the fitness industry. Do you think I would be able to afford the lifestyle I'm able to afford if I was just coaching? You need to be aware of the potential which is out there. You cannot just rely on coaching. Okay, so I'll expose you to some career opportunities. In fact, a lot of career opportunities. I'll expose you to what it takes to truly be a student. What do you do when you're not able to understand something? Because that will come about, right? You will meet a concept which I will teach, and it may not settle in. And then what are you going to do? I'll teach you how to tackle that. I will teach you what it takes to be a learner, what it takes to be a student, what it takes to read a textbook. People do not know how to read textbooks. So it's important that you learn that, and I will teach you how to look after yourself. Because if you want to learn from me, man, very quickly you may start falling behind. So I want you to be in peak physical and mental health before you expose yourself to this course. So I'll teach you what you need to do to truly make the best of these 12 weeks. Okay, so we're going to begin with the student orientation. I'm going to introduce you to the course. I'm going to show you the syllabus. I'll go over it with you. I'll explain to you how you can ask questions, because you may have specific questions which you want addressed, right? So I'll explain to you how you can ask those questions, how you can get your most burning questions answered. Following the student orientation, we will have module 1. And trust me when I say this, combine module 00 with module 1. And these two modules alone are worth their weight in gold. Yo, If after module 1, to all my students, if after module 1, you don't feel that you have received your money's worth, which is not 25,000 rupees, those two modules combined are worth more than 5 lakh rupees. Just those two first two modules combined. And if you think this is a bold claim, I'll back it up. I will back it up. And if you think after module 1 that you've not got your money's worth, I'll pay you back your 25k. I'll give you back your money. Just reach out to me. Let me know why you think you haven't got your money's worth after studying module 00 and module 1, and I will pay you back every penny you've invested. That's my personal guarantee. Because module 1 is all about thinking. It's all about acquiring information and then making sense of that information. Because the information is out there. We live in the age of information. So how do you acquire that information first? What are the resources you can rely upon? And then how do you distill that information? How do you make sense of that information? What are the resources which I use to learn? Where do I get my books from? Where do I get my papers from? And speaking of papers, how do you read a scientific paper? And what does it truly mean to think clearly? I'm not using the term critical thinking here because people pretend to be critical thinkers just because they can identify a logical fallacy or two. Just because they know what a cognitive bias is, that doesn't make you a critical thinker. True thinking is a skill, and it must be taught and it must be practiced. It's only when you learn how to think that you will be able to make sense of the information and choose the information. We have limited time on this planet to choose the right resources. One of the most silly practices I see in the new age amongst our millennials is I'm reading a book a day. This is soundbite. The wealthiest CEOs in the world read a book a day, or they read a book a month, or they read a book a week. Fuddu CEOs do that. So fuck, man. I read a book a day. For what? What if that book is full of crap? You want to know which book is full of crap? Atomic Habits is full of crap. James Clear does not understand the human mind, and he does not understand what it takes to truly build habits. And if you don't understand fundamental psychology, how are you going to teach habit building, man? It's silly. And people read his book and they think it's all about habits and adherence and sustainability. My goodness gracious me, man. So many of you are wasting your time reading a book a day. Why? For what? My God. Perhaps the only thing which reading a book a day improves is your vocabulary. Then maybe read some fiction, because most of the non-fiction out there is grade A BS. Ra Kanathia says that the authors of the books should be richer than those CEOs. Your point. And some of them are incredibly wealthy. James Clear is incredibly wealthy, but he's also a bum. So yeah, that's what module 1 is going to be all about. Finding information, distilling that information, and learning how to think better. Module 2. exercise. What is exercise? My goodness gracious me. What is exercise? There is so much to cover in module 3 or rather module 2, okay? Because I'll have to cover some foundational anatomical concepts. I'll introduce you to some basic kinesiology, then comes physics, then comes physiology. Then we're going to put all of this together. So there's going to be a lot of reading and a lot of studying in that week. I'm going to teach you how you can apply physics to the human body. And no one teaches it better than I do. You know why no one teaches it better than I do? Because that's the subject I struggled with the most. So I know the struggle. I know the concepts a student truly struggles with. And it's taught poorly, to say the least. I think Vivek Angus and Jeff Fudge are perhaps two of the only professionals who teach physics well. I've been exposed to every course out there. Okay, Qasim's a pretender. Tom gets a lot of things wrong. Okay, he's got a very crude way of teaching. And Anish and Shubham brought this guy to my attention, Doug Brignole. My God, man. Doug, please, man, stop it, buddy. Okay, you're 61 years old. You're a great bodybuilder, but stop pretending to teach physics. Okay? He made an absolute mockery of himself in a video. I'll probably do a response video showing you just how terrible his understanding of foundational concepts is. So anyway, we're going to touch on exercise. I'll expose you to some traditional teachings because many of you are exposed to traditional teachings. If you have been exposed to the personal trainer manual, which K11 provides or the NSCA provides, then unfortunately you're going to have to spend a lot of time unlearning what you've learned. That's a reality. Hey, what's the function of the biceps? Is it elbow flexion? There's more to the story than just that. So anyway, these are a few sound bites which appear to be true, which may not necessarily be true in a lot of contexts. So someone said, sir, I was always weak in physics. You're weak in physics because you didn't like physics. Champion Fitness, you did not like physics. That's why you're weak in physics. Because till now, no one was able to create for you enough buy-in to truly learn physics. I will first show you what you can do with physics. I will show you what you can do with physics, and then you'll want to learn physics. There's no point in just learning physics. I mean, what are you going to do with it? You should know what you can do with it. You should know the magic that happens when you are exposed to a physicist's perspective. It changes everything. So we're going to tackle exercise and we're going to try and wrap it up in a week. I know that's a bold claim. That's a bold claim, and I may struggle, and I won't lie, I may require another week. But I'm going to try and squeeze it in. And don't worry, man, you guys are going to have access to everything, okay? And I know what you struggle with, and I'll teach it. I'll teach it in a way where you get it. Okay, so module 2 is exercise. Module 3 is nutrition. My goodness gracious me, if people have a terrible understanding of exercise, if we as an industry have a terrible understanding of exercise, we have just as terrible of an understanding of nutrition. Because if you think it's all about calories in versus calories out, flexible dieting, eating your macros and micros, energy balance, please man, stop talking about energy balance. Stop talking about thermodynamics if you do not understand the laws of thermodynamics. It's incredibly apparent that the industry does not understand thermodynamics. I chuckle every time someone says calories in, calories out, especially when it comes from Lane Norton. Lane Norton, Martin McDonald, talking about energy balance. And Martin then says, oh, you don't need to understand biochemistry to practice as a nutritionist. There's some truth to that, Martin, but that's the reason why you're a pro nutritionist. So, yeah, Mac nutrition students think they actually understand nutrition. Anywho, so there's a lot of foundational concepts which we are going to have to establish. And we are going to have to look at the industry's current understanding of nutrition, because people think nutrition is easy. It's not. It is not. You see how my mind works? It works well and it works clearly. I fuel my mind and I fuel it well. I fuel my body and I fuel it well. Because I understand nutrition better than all these evidence-based bombs do. I understand nutrition better than Lyle McDonald, better than Alan Aragon, better than Martin McDonald. And you combine all three of them and you ask them to debate me, I understand nutrition better than them. That's a reality. And I'll prove it. I will demonstrate it. So, Module 3 is nutrition. Module 4 is recovery. We're going to touch on sleep science. We're going to touch on injury rehabilitation. We're going to touch on pain science. And we're going to touch on stress management. We're going to touch on depression and anxiety because they're incredibly prevalent in our society. And what, do you think I can't speak about depression and anxiety because I'm not a psychiatrist? All you psychiatrist buggers, I've been studying medicine from the time I was born. If you think I understand nutrition and exercise, I've only been studying nutrition and exercise since the last 10 years. I've been studying medicine since the last 25 years. I was quizzing my mom and dad. I was digging into their books when I was 5 years old, man. I'm incredibly grateful and thankful to my mom and dad. The reason I didn't have to become a doctor and I became an engineer instead was because my mom and dad are excellent doctors. Everything I had to learn about medicine, I had the best access to that learning. Everything I know about the human body, almost everything comes from my mom and dad. Two of the finest doctors in the country. And my dad's an ex-army man, a retired army officer, served the country. And now he's serving the nation in these torrid times. They've made it, man, in life. They could have retired in 2019. They're north of 50. They didn't have to work in COVID times. They chose to work. They chose to serve the country when the country needed them. They put their lives on the line. My mom got COVID too, and thankfully she recovered. But they put their lives on the line to serve this country. I will never do that. I'll never do what my mom and dad do. They are incredibly gracious with their time. So, Module 4 will be all about recovery. That's very important because few people understand recovery. It's not spoken about enough. People don't understand sleep. A lot of you wonder, right? Man, some of you wonder, Aman, you hardly sleep. And there are legit times where I've had to stay up 4 or 5 nights in a row. And that's because I understand sleep better than most people understand sleep. Heck, I think as far as sleep is concerned, I have some unique thoughts to bring to the table which I haven't seen discussed anywhere. Especially not in popular non-fiction books which are authored about sleep science. So anyway, coming back to module 4, that's going to touch on recovery. Module 5, baby. Module 5 is psychology. If there's one subject you want to get a thorough understanding of, it is psychology, my friends. We as professionals, we as people communicate and interact with other people, with other human beings, with other human minds. And if you do not know how the mind works, you're cutting yourself short. You must understand psychology. It's only when you truly understand psychology, you truly understand what motivates human behavior, that you will be able to influence human behavior. Have you heard about people complain that their clients are not following the diet, they're not following the program, they're not able to adhere? Have you heard me complain about that? If you know what motivates the human mind, if you know how the human mind works, how our brain works, if you understand a little neuroscience, my goodness gracious me, that is a weapon. That's a weapon. So everything you need to know about adherence strategies, habit building, influencing behavior so that your clients do what you ask them to do, will be taught in the psychology module. And now that we've established these fundamentals, we can start practicing. Module 6 will be all about programming and the art of coaching. I will run you through every single step I go through, from the time a client reaches out to me and how I make the client reach out to me. We'll touch on that in a separate module. But from the time a client reaches out to me till the time the client finishes the program and I ask them to pay me again, how I go about it. So how do we do the sales consult? How do we do the assessments? What do you need to do as far as assessments are concerned? How do you write a good nutrition program? So you know what nutrition is about, how you put it into practice. How do you write a good exercise program? What supplements to consider? And I'll also touch on some medical realities with you, because I'll be touching on scope of practice, okay? A lot of people say that you can't do a particular something because it's not within your scope of practice. Really? You're going to tell me that I can't write a diet chart, I can't write a nutrition program because I'm not a registered dietitian? Bring me a registered dietitian and I'll smoke that registered dietitian, because my understanding of nutrition is better than most of these registered dietitians. So scope of practice, we'll talk about that. I'll tell you what you can do. and what you can't. Because see, when the people reach out to you, they expect a service, a thorough service. And when they reach out to you for advice, if all they get from you is go to a doctor, go to a registered dietitian, go to a physiotherapist, go to a mental health professional, then one day they'll go to someone else. So you might as well possess something in the way of skills, something in the way of a skill set to tackle all these problems which you will face. And yeah, there are consequences, there are realities. We'll talk about them. I work at hospital, man. I'm not a physiotherapist, but I do physiotherapy at hospitals. Hospitals call me, they invite me, they beg me to come and practice as a physiotherapist when I'm not a physiotherapist. I write nutrition programs for clinically diseased populations when I'm not a registered dietitian. So you better be thorough with your education, and we'll tackle the scope of practice problem, and I'll tell you how you can wiggle your way around it and how you can refer out to a team and create a nice partnership with a few doctors, because I have a few doctors on board who help me. So yeah, module 6 is going to be all about coaching. Module 7 is going to be about building your empire. It's going to be about business and marketing. Some of you may not know this, but one of the jobs I am hired for the most is business consulting. I consult companies to build better businesses, and that's because I understand business like no one else does. So all that nutrition, all that exercise, all that knowledge about sleep science, pain science, programming, it's of no use if you can't put it out there, and if you can't demand the money which you deserve to be paid as a professional. Some of you know my charges. I still think I undercharge, but people who think I overcharge still pay me happily. Some of you who pay me are watching. Influencers who pay me are watching. I don't do any special favors here. Yash Sharma pays a full fee. Abhinav Mahajan pays a full fee. Sakit pays a full fee. If an actor reaches out, he pays a full fee. If a cricketer reaches out, he pays a full fee. And there is no scope for negotiation. So we have to talk about that. We have to talk about how do you set up your business, and how do you present your business, and then how do you run your business, and how do you market your business. Some of you may observe my follower count and think, he doesn't seem like he's doing a great job marketing. He's unleashing profanities every once in a while, and people keep on following him. You know why I can afford to do that? Because I invested time marketing in 2015. I invested a few months, created a bulletproof reputation, and now I can do and say as I please. Hey, don't subscribe to the Amandugal University. Please do not. Go elsewhere. You don't like me, right? don't subscribe. I don't care. You know why? Because my bank balance does not depend on the Amandagal University. I have so many streams of income that if you choose not to support this one, no problem. You think you can pay me the type of money which a Fortune 500 company pays me? You think so? So, these are some realities. I do not need your money. I can do and say as I please. But in order to reach this level, there was a foundation which was established, and I'll teach you how to establish that foundation. I didn't work hard for it. Some of you know what I did to be where I am today. People say there are no shortcuts, right? People say there's no jugaad. Oh man. My journey has been full of shortcuts and full of jugaad. And most of you who've been following me since 2015 know that. That's why I could afford to take a hiatus from social media for 3 years. I could afford to disappear and still live comfortably. So that's going to be business and marketing. The module after this one is going to be making an impact. Okay? Building a legacy and leaving behind an enterprise. You cannot just afford to run a business here. You have to make an impact. But it's not your knowledge of nutrition, not your knowledge of exercise, which is going to help you make an impact. There are skills far more important than that. I am demonstrating some of those skills right now. I am demonstrating my ability to speak. I know I possess a little in the way of linguistic talent, but it's not talent. I did not acquire this, it wasn't handed down to me. I worked for it. It's not that difficult. You combine this with this, and that's all you need. Combine this with this, and that's all you need. Hey, yo, that's the size of my biceps. Okay? Judge me. Judge me by the size of my biceps. You think I need to show off my body to take your money? You think I need to show off my body to take your money? This and this is all I need. I choose to be competent. I choose to improve my technical ability. But if tomorrow I were to stop studying, you'd never know. You'd never know if I were to stop studying, if I were to stop upgrading myself. Because I'm so good here, and I'm so good here. I can create the illusion of expertise. I can do that. But I choose not to. Because I care about being the best. So, how do you make an impact? How do you put yourself out there? Such that when people see you, when people grace your presence, they feel privileged, they feel thankful, and they feel grateful. I'm going to teach you how to make an impact. I believe that's 8 or 9 modules. The next module is called a special topics module. There are some topics which I would like to touch on, which don't really fit any particular module per se, but they are important. These topics are important, and I'll let you vote for these topics. Okay, so let's say if you want to talk about performance enhancing drugs, anabolic steroids and performance enhancing drugs, they're a reality. Now, whether I choose to speak about them in this module or in a future, in this intake or in a future intake, I will decide that. But there will be one entire week devoted just to special topics. Okay? And I may get some other professionals on board to speak about these special topics. Okay? So think about women specific coaching. Think about training just with elastomers, resistance tubes and bands. Think about setting up your own gymnasium or setting up a gymnasium for someone else, because that's a legitimate business. You get paid to set up gymnasiums for other people. I do that and I get paid for it. So there are many things along these lines which we may want to speak about. So I've reserved a week, a module just for special topics. The module after this will be a question and answer module where I will answer every single question, all your burning questions about nutrition, exercise, business, marketing, psychology, sleep, injuries, medicine. Whatever you want to know about, ask me and I shall deliver. And finally, the last module will be the examination module, if you want to call it a module. And it will be a thorough examination. You will have to earn the certificate. It will not be handed over to you. And I will make you earn it. And I will make sure that every single one of you earn it. I can promise you this, if at any point you are struggling with whatever it is I'm teaching, you can reach out to me. I'll slow down. I'll make sure you understand what you need to understand, and I will make sure you crack the exam. And the exam will not just be a combination of written material, MCQs. I will in all likelihood interview you. Either there'll be a group discussion or an interview. If you are going to take, or rather earn my certificate, I better make sure that you know what you need to know. I'm not just going to let any joker practice under the institution or under the certification of the Amandugal University. You will have to earn it. But the exam is optional. If you don't want to give the exam, that's absolutely fine. I will be conducting exams thrice a year, 3 to 4 times a year. So if you feel like you're not prepared and you need more time to prepare, you can let me know, and you can reach out to me 6 months down the line, or maybe 9 months down the line, and give your exam later if you feel you need more time. Okay, so I will provide you that option. It's not to say that if you are from batch 1 that you have to give batch 1's exam. You can consider giving batch 2 or 3's exam. Okay. With that said and done, I will now address your questions. Okay. How much battery do I have? Okay, I have enough battery. What is the baseline one has to establish to comprehend this course? You can be a beginner. No problem. If you come to this course with no understanding of nutrition and exercise, I would actually prefer that. You know why? Because if you think you already know what the function of the biceps is, or your knee extensors or elbow flexors or whatever, if you come with that knowledge thinking you already know, you're going to be surprised. I would prefer if you do not know, so that you learn well and you learn correctly and you learn accurately and precisely. Because to this very day, I have these old habits. I catch myself thinking along the evidence-based lines. You know, these popular sound bites which I was plagued with back in my student days. So I have to stop myself from saying things like compound exercises are better than isolation exercise. Heck, I even have to stop myself from saying compound and isolation exercises. I have to stop myself from saying open and closed chain exercises. I have to stop myself from saying it's all about calories in and calories out. So it's better that you're not exposed to nutrition and exercise education as it's traditionally offered to you before you come and experience the Amandukul University. These people don't even know what is a calorie. That is true, ma'am. Will you teach strength and conditioning? Yes. But we will first have to ask the question, what is strength and what is conditioning? What do you think of the NIS coaches? I don't think much of them. No EMI options will be available for the first batch, okay? Unless we integrate Razorpay into my website. See, the website is going to take a little while, okay? Because we are just polishing it up a little bit. So if we are able to achieve that before 3rd October, great. You may have EMI options, but in all likelihood you may not. So I'll try and figure that out for you. Duration, man, certification is not even important. The knowledge bombs that you are providing is more. I appreciate that. You will not get any hard copy, okay? Is this course better than RTS in respect of biomechanics? When you think RTS understands biomechanics? And this is where, I feel, I won't say disrespected, but it's a typical Indian thinking, where people can't digest the fact that someone from India is actually better than someone from outside. And it's a reality. It's a reality. As intellectually challenged as Kaizad Kapadia is, I'll give him credit for coming up with GCC. GCC stands for Gora Chamdi certification. What does Tom Purvis know, man? You think Tom Purvis understands exercise? He's created a legend for himself. Okay, people think like, oh, Tom Purvis knows a lot. Man, he makes basic logical blunders, man. Go watch my discussion with Tom Purvis, and this is an open challenge to Tom Purvis. Tom, if you think you understand exercise, debate me. I put forth 7 points against RTS. You can go and watch that video on YouTube or on my Instagram. It's one of the most popular videos on my YouTube channel. Don't compare me to Tom Purvis. I am better than Tom Purvis, and I will continue becoming better than Tom Purvis. Tom Purvis is old, man. He's chilling with Ben Pokulski. No wonder he's still stuck with his baby man understanding of exercise mechanics. Keep drawing those moment arms, buddy. Anyway. Alright, any other questions? There will be no hard copies provided. Everything will be provided as a soft copy. You will get lecture notes. If I load a presentation, you will get the handouts for that presentation. I'm I'll try and get you the textbooks, which I recommend as well. So yeah, but no hard copies, man. Save the environment. You want a hard copy in 25K? Sorry, I'm not providing that. Oh, it'll be okay if I take the exam and we think we are ready. Yeah, you can do that. You can take the exam when you're ready. Okay. Okay, about Hindi. देखो, अंग्रेजी सीखना जरूरी है. आपको शायद ये सुन के अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, लेकिन अंग्रेजी सीखना जरूरी है. मैं आपको ये बता दूं, जो लोगों को हमारे देश से प्यार है, हमारी भाषा से प्यार है, वो लोगों को भी अंग्रेजी से प्यार है. और अंग्रेजी एक ऐसी भाषा है जो अगर आपने सीख ली, आप काफी आगे जा सकते हो सिर्फ अंग्रेजी के दम पे. और मेरा ये बोलने का मतलब नहीं है कि आप हिंदी सीख के आगे नहीं जा सकते हो. हिंदी भी सीखो, मराठी भी सीखो, पंजाबी भी सीखो, बंगाली भी सीखो, तेलुगु भी सीखो, तमिल भी सीखो. सीखो, लेकिन अंग्रेजी एक यूनिवर्सल लैंग्वेज है और वो एक रियलिटी है. तो उसे हमें एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा. अंग्रेजी सीखनी पड़ेगी. हमने भी अंग्रेजी सीखी है. मेरी भी मातृभाषा हिंदी है. हम भी जब बड़े हुए थे तो हमारे भी माता पिता हिंदी में बात करते थे. हम भी हिंदी में बात करते थे, पंजाबी में बात करते थे. लेकिन अंग्रेजी सीखना ज़रूरी है. तो अगर आपको कोई कॉन्सेप्ट अंग्रेजी में समझ नहीं आ रहा है, आप मुझे वो सवाल हिंदी में पूछ सकते हो और मैं कोशिश करूँगा उसका हिंदी में जवाब देना. एंड ओवर टाइम मैं कोशिश करूँगा कि जितने भी मेरे लेक्चर्स हैं उनको हम अंग्रेज़ी के सिवा दूसरी लैंग्वेजेस में भी हम उनको सिखाएं. ओके. We be able to make nutrition and exercise plans for any person on the planet. Yes, that is one of the most beautiful things about this course. If you truly understand the fundamentals, then you should be able to create a program for anyone. Okay, see, I can speak about powerlifting. You know, I work with a lot of powerlifters. I have a powerlifting world record under my coaching belt. But I don't coach powerlifters like powerlifters. That's because I understand powerlifting for what it truly is. So, oh man, I've coached cricketers, footballers, sprinters, ice speed skaters. Shout out to Shruti Kotwal, India's #1 ice speed skater. I worked with her. And a lot of other athletes. But no one taught me how to coach ice speed skaters or strength and conditioning specifically for ice speed skating. If you truly understand force for what it is, you can coach anyone. Okay. Lectures timing day or night, they'll be flexible. Okay, I will make the announcement in advance, but since these lectures will be saved, you can always watch them at a later hour, and you'll all obviously have the option of asking me questions later. Okay, what else do we have? Yeah, everything will be provided digitally. We will, okay, so another thing, what's the medium? Okay, we will be using Facebook as a medium. Now the reason for that is I explored a lot of different options as far as the learning management system is concerned. So some of you have heard of LearnDash, which integrates into the website. Unfortunately, LearnDash is not better than Facebook groups. Facebook groups have come a long way, and the options and the diversity of functions which Facebook groups provide, LearnDash does not. No learning management system is able to offer what Facebook groups offer. So we're going to be using Facebook groups because, not because it's free, but because it's just the best medium out there at this time. If LearnDash improves tomorrow, I'll integrate LearnDash into my website and we can use LearnDash. But right now, we are going to use Facebook groups. Okay, so people are excited. How much money do you make per month? Take a guess, Fit Cosita. Take a guess. How much money do you think I make a month? So Arnav asked me which school in Shillong. Man, I went to visit my dad in Shillong. He was posted there for three years. So that's a reality, man, of the army life, the military life. We couldn't go to Shillong, man. My sister and me were admitted in excellent schools here, and Pune is known for creating a good educational environment. My mom had an excellent job here at Ruby Hall, so we couldn't just leave. So my dad went to Shillong alone. We would visit him from time to time, but he stayed alone. Then he came back to Pune again. So I was born in Calcutta. Then we went to Madras, which is Chennai, Kolkata, Chennai. Then I came to Pune. Then Dad went to Shillong for 3 years. Then he came back to Pune. Then he went to Delhi, and then he retired at RR Hospital in Delhi. Awesome to see your true willingness to learn, brother. It's very rare. Thank you, Melvin. You want to be as cool as me? You're asking me if I gained expertise in exercise and nutrition in a period of 3 months. I wish I did, buddy. I wish there was an Aman Dugal University when I started learning. If you're getting Amreen ma'am OPs, that's nice. Good. Oh, all right, man. Okay, so I think I've answered most questions, haven't I? Got some more questions here. Okay, I'm not able to view that. Does someone want to join me live? How much battery do I have? Hey, wait a second. Wait a second. Am I still live or not? Oh man, this is terrible. Am I still live? Please don't tell me I'm not live. I can't see any more comments, and I can't even see people who are watching anymore. Anyway, I think I should terminate this live broadcast. Everything you need to know about the Aman Dugal University has been shared with you. The ball is in your court. I will see you on the 3rd of October. Take care, everyone.